Okay, hey guys, what's going on? So a couple of days ago, I woke up in the middle of the night and I don't remember what I was dreaming about. And I usually remember my dreams, and I didn't wake up because I was having a nightmare. I just woke up. But the first thing that was on my mind was the child trafficking rings and the children that are being saved allegedly or whatever, right? And I think it was on my mind because I had just seen this interview with Nino Rodriguez, who is a boxer, on Brad Lee's show. And he was talking about a video that he made like a week or two ago that went viral. And in that video, he was saying that he knows A-list people and people in Hollywood, and he's, through what he's heard, they're confirming that these pedophile rings are going down. And, he was just giving his thoughts on it. And then this video went viral. So it went so viral, like this guy, Brad Lee, ended up having him on his show to talk about it. And, during the show, he was talking about, and I'm going to put all that in links because I think you guys might be interested in watching it. On the show, he was talking about just because some of these kids, I'm going to say this, if they're kids watching this, maybe you should get them out of the room if you have this going on with their kids around, because some of the stuff I'm about to say is going to be very disturbing. Like, I'll curse, but I won't talk about disturbing stuff. I will, but just give it a minute, pause it, and get your kids out before I go on, okay? All right, so basically, he was saying that because a lot of these kids are bred in the tunnels, they have these DUMBs. You know what? I'm going to put the link for this too. These things really exist. They're called deep underground military bases. They're called DUMBs. And all kinds of things. They're different DUMBs for different reasons. Some make chemtrails, some do this, some experiment on things, some of them are where they breed a lot of these children for adrenochrome. If you don't know what adrenochrome is when your adrenals, when you're really terrified, or it's like fight or flight syndrome, your body starts to pump adrenaline and it gets into your blood. And because children are so pure, whether it's like they're not exposed to chemicals or they don't have a lot of baggage and stuff, they're just new human beings, they produce supposedly the best adrenochrome. So what they do is they terrify these kids, they rape these kids, they torture these kids, and then they wait till their blood floods with the stuff, and then they kill them, and then they drink their blood. So supposedly the blood is supposed to get you super high. It's supposed to be like a great anti-aging remedy. And a lot of these Hollywood elite, not just Hollywood elite, but elites around the world engage in this. And this has been, but you can even look back in Mayan traditions and indigenous cultures where they did ritual sacrifices and blood drinking sacrifices. This has been known since the beginning of time. It's just that, they brainwashed us into thinking that, oh, that was a long time ago. That doesn't happen, right? Like, that never happens. Like, even if you ever see Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, right? That's what they were drinking. They were drinking blood to get into, like, this zombie-like stage or whatever. You guys should search adrenochrome if you're really curious. It's very, it really exists. Felines know about this. The feline species, certain animal species know about this too, where they kill their prey slowly and they terrify them and they kill their prey. I guess they know that it makes it taste better. It makes them, high or whatever, right? So it's not like it doesn't exist. I'm not making it up. I guess the thing that really has to be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, which I think will be revealed in the future, is who is doing it in our society. Is it still going on? But it has gone on. Anyway, I'm going in a tangent. So because these kids are bred in the tunnels, meaning that, they'll kidnap kids, they'll get them pregnant so they can have other kids. So these newly born kids, or people, sex slavery, child, whoever they're breeding to have children. So they will raise these kids, and then when they're, I guess, of age or whatever, they would terrify them, kill them, drink their blood, and or a lot of these kids that are that live down there, they've never seen the light of day. So it's like when they come out into the sunlight, they just start screaming. He was saying that they were just screaming because their senses are all messed up because they can't, they've never seen sunlight. Maybe they haven't heard certain sounds before. It's really overwhelming for them. And with that said, also some of the kids, I've seen pictures before even Pizzagate came out. I've seen pictures leaked because I've been truthing for like over a decade. So we interviewed Fritz Springmeier on our show that was talking about a lot of this dark stuff, and Kevin Annet. I'll put our show notes in the link, so you can listen to those old podcasts that we have. But basically, I've seen pictures of kids in cages like animals, like cages that are like 3 by 3 feet with like, 7-year-old kids inside. It's disturbing, right? So these kids are like in cages. They probably don't even know how to speak, and I heard some of the kids, maybe they're not, or be kids in like just one big cage. Talk about kids in cages, right? When the left was trying to get on Trump for kids in cages, I'm like, no man, that's Obama's crew, right? They're the ones who really putting kids in cages, right? All the leftist, globalist elites, they're really doing. They project. You see what these psychopaths do? They project what they're doing onto other people, or they'll have a bunch of kids in like one big cage. So some of the kids died. And they were saying that, chunks of kids were missing off of their skin because some of the kids that were alive were left to starve. And then they started eating off of the dead children. I know this is disturbing, but I'm relaying to you what I've heard, what other testimonies. You can listen to ritualistic testimonies of some of the stuff going on. Kathy O'Brien, Arizona Wilder, Aaron McCollum. There's some other ones if you guys want to put some in the comments if you really want to, if you're intrigued about this. But anyway, so I actually started thinking about the people that were saving the children because my mind has been on the kids and what they've been going through. And, I've been thinking, anytime I think of them, I send good energy to them or to the situation. That's all I can do. I can't really do anything else but that. But for some reason, when I woke up in the middle of the night, I was thinking about the people that were saving the children because, they're going to be traumatized. They're going to be hurt. It's going to be devastating to them, or it is devastating to them. They're going to need counseling and help to get through this as well. So, I don't know. I suggest if you haven't seen Out of Shadows, you should. I'm going to put that in the links too. I tried to get one of my friends to see Out of Shadows, and he emailed me or messaged me. He was like, I got halfway through it. He was like, I just couldn't deal with anything that had to deal with children getting like molested or sacrificed or hurt or anything like that. He goes, it's just really disturbing to me. And, and he was saying because he was molested, and I was like, I get that. And I laid off. I didn't make him feel bad about it. I totally understand that. And I'm not being dismissive of this, but honestly, it's so common. Molestation. I probably know more people that have been molested than have not been molested. And it's usually by a family member. And I remember talking to another one of my friends who was molested and by a family member. And we were talking about like the predictive programming and how like back in the 80s, they'd have on a very special episode of Different Strokes, and they'd have like the slow motion and like the piano music in the background. And then you see the episode, and it was an episode on pedophilia. But it would usually be like a stranger or someone outside the family. And what she told me, which was really interesting, was like, I would watch these episodes, and it would just be so weird to me because at one hand I'd be thinking, wow, that was happening to me. But she was like, it was always a stranger. They never talked about the inner family molestation, right? And that's how most molestation occurs, is like through a family member, mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, whoever, cousin, anyway, yeah, she was just saying it's weird. So my thing is, I think that if people really understood how prevalent molestation is, then they wouldn't be so ashamed to talk about it if they just knew how common it really is. And I can't tell of my friends who has and who hasn't, because I'm being general. I've been sworn to secrecy. I'm not gonna like use names, but just in my lifetime, just the people that have confessed that to me has been more than the people that have not. And I'm not equating like the blood drinking and Satanism to molestation in the family, but there is some kind of link, because it's like, you know, if you look at Out of Shadows, they talk about subliminal messaging, you know, and also the fact where if you are molested, then you're more likely to become a molester. But on top, you know, Hollywood is putting in all these sexual subliminal messages, and, you know, trying to get us now to accept it on a large scale by, like, you know, like had those TED Talks with those people trying to say it's okay to be a pedophile, like shit like that. So they're trying to normalize it and make it simple, probably, you know. And now I think because I'm saying like sexual molestation is so prevalent, it's probably part of their plan to integrate this whole Satanism into society. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense, right? So you have like the prevalent sexual molestation on this side, and then you have the Satanism, and which can lead to that, not necessarily so, but the elites are doing the blood drinking and stuff, but because they want to integrate it more into our society, they're trying to normalize it and make it okay and make it more prevalent, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I think there's a better way I couldn't explain that. My thing is, I've known a lot of people that have gone through that, but they've also taken steps to work through that trauma. And kind of my concern is, I think this stuff is really going to come out on a large scale where it's not going to even be deniable, and or it's not going to even be able to be denied, where this is really going on, and some of your favorite people that you love is going on. I'm like, oh my God, if Denzel is involved, I don't know. I have no faith in anything anymore. Not Denzel or Stevie Wonder. I've been thinking about the celebrities that I like. And I'm like, I used to like Tom Hanks, and now that's just done. That's done. I'm like, oh man. All these people I used to like, you know, possibly involved in this. Anyway, I digress. So, yeah, I wish that, you know, I think that if this comes out, or when this comes out, it's gonna open up a larger conversation, I think, about pedophilia on a larger scale. And it's gonna, you know, people that have been dealing with this in their personal lives, it's gonna open up wounds for them. And for the people that have already taken steps to work through their trauma, it's not gonna be as bad for them. But a lot of people that are just like denying it, don't want to talk about it, have forgotten it, because a lot of people get abused so much that they block it out. They don't like remember it. Like they compartmentalize, right? And this is what the elite do too when they do the MK Ultra. They basically, you know, torture, rape, you know, people to the part so hard that they actually develop split personalities, you know. That's another reason I really feel like there's so many narcissists in our culture now. And in addition to the social media, you have the narcissists that are like, you know, but a lot of, I mean, I'm not excusing the narcissism, but like I said, a lot of people have been so abused. There's so many broken people, including myself. I've done a lot of work on myself. So I'm not sitting on top of a mountain and be like, oh, you're this and you're that. I've done a lot of inner work, like a lot, okay? So, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of, you know, can be very painful sometimes. But I think a lot of those people, you know, I hope, you know, that there are some people that are watching this and kind of, if it's opening wounds from their own trauma, not this video, I'm talking about the stuff that's going down now with Pizzagate and all that stuff. I knew about Pizzagate before it was Pizzagate, if that makes sense. Before it had a name to it, I knew about this. I knew about this for years, and I really denied it. I didn't want to believe it. When I really start to come to terms with this is probably what it really is happening, I really had nightmares. It was really traumatic. And I'm just hearing about it, okay? I'm just listening to testimonies. I'm just looking at pictures and stuff. I'm not even going through it, okay? But for me, somebody that's like outside looking in, it was traumatic for me. So I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been thinking about those poor children, these poor slaves, these poor people that have been abused. How are we going to integrate them into society? Is it even going to be possible to do so? Only thing I know that this shit has to stop, and these rings have to they have to go out. They have to go out. It's too much. It's ruining our it's ruining our human species, right? It's like a demonic evil force has taken over the earth. It needs to be put to an end. But yeah, I don't really know what, I don't know. Oh, I guess I'm sorry to start thinking about it again, but I knew about this before it was Pizzagate, and then when Pizzagate came out, it was very interesting because now it was even more details that I had to add to all of the stuff that I knew. Like, I didn't know about all the artwork that all these sick pedophile elites had. Like, why all these people that we consider thought leaders, why do they have pictures of children, naked children in their houses being raped and tortured? And why are they having statues of what's his face? Jeffrey Dahmer, when he had he would cut the heads off his victims and he would pose them in certain poses, and then some guy made sculptures out of them, and had and I forgot who it was some famous person. I was like, why is that in your apartment? How is that art? Why is Bill Gates promoting Marina Abramovich? Where you look her up, she does spirit cooking and paints on walls with blood and semen and breast milk. And she has babies, I guess not real babies, but these baby dolls that are ripped apart with blood, just spewing out of them on a hill, on a little mountain, and she's sitting on top of them. She eats people cakes, guys, people cakes. So she has a cake that's made, she has a party where she has this giant cake that's made into a person, and people eating them, right? This is associated with the Cannibal Club, where if you go on their website, they talk about how their meat is ethically obtained. What the fuck, So I know there are going to be people that are going to want to make excuses for this stuff, but you're really going to have to use your head and just stop being in denial. And it's going to be hard for a lot of people, like I said, that are in denial of all these people that they worship like idols, which you should never, ever do. You can have people that you're inspired by, that you like. I have those people, but I mean, you shouldn't be worshiping them, because then they have your soul, they have your spirit. And when you see pictures like that, you're still going to make excuses for them because, Bill Gates, he's such a nice guy. He doesn't drink blood. Bill and Melinda Gates. Well, meanwhile, while Melinda Gates is she's wearing an upside down cross. Why? Why are they always putting up the devil signs? Why are they always covering their eye? It's they can't help it, They can't help it. You just take one picture without covering your eye? Just one. It'd be nice. Just one, right? They gotta have a picture with the covering their eye. One eye, right? What's up with the checkerboards, floors, in videos and stuff all the time? And, what's up with the eye and the all-seeing eye? I mean, these are just things that are always in their videos all the time. And that was the thing that really got me to investigate, because at first I was like, oh, come on, man, these people are just blowing it out of proportion. And then I was like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, come on, it's too much, right? Baphomet horns everywhere. Come on. Really, when are you guys going to wake up? Wake up. I know there are people that come to this channel and they think they're oh, you're a black woman that talks shit about liberals. I love it. But no, I'm talking about more stuff. So I know I'm going to lose subscribers because they're all disappointed in shit. That I'm not just here liberal brat bashing. I'm actually going to go a little deeper today. But yeah, I mean, I pray for those people that are saving the children. I pray for the people that of course, the children and all the people that are being enslaved. I'm like, of course, that's a given. And, you know, even for the people that are going to have a hard time dealing with this, because it is traumatizing too. It's going to be trauma on a mass scale when this comes out. So my advice to you, maybe you need to start working on your stuff now. So it's not so bad when it comes out, because it's probably going to be triggering for a lot of people. But those are just my thoughts. Please somebody like leave some funny comments in the comment section that make me laugh. This is kind of a grim video, but I just wanted to get this out in the open. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Peace, truth, love. Bye-bye.